Hello, welcome back to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. It's a big kind of 3-hour super show as we approach Double or Nothing this weekend. There was Collision having its 1 hour this week. We've got the usual big matches. Darby v Mike Bailey for the world title. We've got a tag title match between FTR and Conglomeration, so a lot going on. But the Jericho and the Young Bucks gave a promo in the Lighthouse about teaming up for the first time as we went back to the arena for their entrance to take on Ricochet, Davis and Illegal. YTJ and Ricochet started their teams, but Rico quickly tagged out to Andrade to avoid having to face his rival. Jericho clearly worked to get into better shape during his recent hiatus, but he also seems to have regained some real quickness in the process. He had no problem keeping up with anyone else. This was a typical AEW trios, but it had a quick pace, often ignored tags in favour of man spots and gave 6 guys a chance to shine in different ways. A fun, energetic way to kick off the 3-hour show. We didn't say anything too well, but the match flowed well and everyone worked together to make it entertaining. Doug showed up to interfere, which allowed Illegal to seal the win by pinning Matt. When the assault continued afterward, Perry showed up and hit Tyrion and all the bandwagoners. This led to everyone coming out for the stadium stampede brawl. Kind of predictable, we know where it would go. But yeah, I still thought it was pretty fun and obviously made me excited for Saturday. So I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. Next up, we got Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe in an anything goes fight. The chicken carried a trash can full of weapons to the ring, so he didn't waste any time with traditional wrestling and got right into the mayhem. These two have known each other for a long time, and Ciampa came into this with full record against Briscoe. The match got bloody before the break when Ciampa used a cheese grater on Briscoe's head. It was surprising to see AEW schedule a match so violent early. It was entertaining, but it might be too much for younger fans. If you enjoy carnage, you probably had a great time with this. If you prefer traditional wrestling, you want to skip. Both guys were bleeding all over him before it's done. Briscoe put Ciampa through a table with Jay Driller before hitting his own finisher for the win. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Before Tony Schiavone was talking in the ring, when Prince Danner interrupted him, he insulted Tony until he left the ring and then brought Strickland out for a promo. Before he could even get to the ring, Bandito showed up and attacked Swerve. Anyhow, he had a huge dive out of the ring before sending Strickland into steel steps. Nana caused a distraction that gave Swerve a chance to recover and take the champ down. The segment instantly made their upcoming match feel more personal. Bandito got the better of his rival, but that probably means he's losing on Sunday. As we then moved on to John Mox against Kyle O'Reilly. O'Reilly with 2 submission victories over Mox was looking to make it a third in this eliminator. They started with a simple exchange of holds and reversals. Neither man was in a rush to pick up the pace because they were sizing each other up. Even when they started using strikes, they were still pacing themselves. KR started to favour his ribs at the show, went to the break before he started to make a comeback when we returned. These two feel tailor-made to work together. They put on a great match that showed you you don't need to go 100 miles an hour to be entertaining. They made every spot feel important by selling appropriately. It looked like O'Reilly might get a third submission victory, but Mox survived to take it to a time limit draw. Still going to set up a match for the weekend, which should be really good. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. We then got a huge 8-woman tag with Athena, Julia Hart, Sky Blue and Thekla taking on Rose, Shirakawa, Windsor and Hayter. Rose and Athena started with standard lockout, but it didn't take long for them to pick up the pace and start throwing each other around the ring. It started hard for everyone to stand out in a match with this many competitors, but they did a good job balancing their time and making sure everyone spent time in the ring. Thekla secured the win for her team by pinning Rossa after she was misted by Hart. So yeah, overall I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I think, probably the right result, and like I say, a pretty fun match between the two. As we then moved on to Darby v Mike Bailey with MJF on commentary for the world title match. Speedball took control immediately because the champ was a little distracted by MJF, who said he predicted Bailey would win his match. Kevin Knight showed up to offer his support to Speedball, and MJF tried to help him from behind by saving him from a pin, but Bailey ultimately ended up tapping out to the Scorpion Deathlock. While the match was decent, it felt like there was too much going on to focus on what was happening in the ring. Knight grabbed the mic and tried to give Bailey a pep talk. He told Aaron he would be coming for the title again at Double or Nothing, which is intriguing. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think, like I say, typical Derby title match, good match, and still lots more to come between the two. Before we got Will Ospreay versus Shibata, obviously before Ospreay takes on Joe. Both men immediately tried to go for an armbar, but the exchange ended with Ospreay grabbing the rope to force a break. Shibata offered his hand, but Ospreay flipped him off and took him down by the leg. Even though the outcome of the match felt obvious before it started, it was still fun to watch these two have a singles match without anyone else involved. They came into this even at 1-1, so Shibata felt like a threat despite the predictability. Ospreay couldn't make him tap out, but he did get the one with hidden blade, and Samoa Joe came out to confront him. Obviously it was always going to be a fun match between these two, and that's exactly what it was. 7 out of 10. before Roosh had another squash victory this week, continuous trend of quickly beating local talents, and this might have been the fastest one yet. Not really much more to say, to be fair. As we then moved on to Lena Cross and Megan Bain having another 5-minute open challenge this week, their opponents were two local competitors. We're having chances at dominance, never had Bowsy. Having them in squash matches is not the best way to use them, especially if they get two in a row. Cross got the pin for her team to continue their successful run as champions. But yeah, kind of like the previous segment, not a lot to say, and that's not really great for 2 segments in a row. As we then moved on to the main event, which was Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong taking on FTR. Much like Ospreay v Shibata, the outcome of this match seemed clear before they got to the ring. FTR had a huge title defence at the weekend, so they were not about to drop their belts, but even with a predictable outcome, they still managed to deliver an enjoyable counter, and FTR got the win as expected, but it was a fun ride, and obviously a decent match between the two teams. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to that FTR Kofi Cage match at the weekend. I think it's been building up for a long time for that. But overall this week, Dynamite gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Most of this week's show provided great entertainment, but it wasn't without its flaw. Having 2 squash matches in a row during the third hour slowed the pace way down after 2 hours of decent action. Mox and KR had the best showing of the night from a technical standpoint, but Shibata and Ospreay weren't far behind. If you're looking for a little more violent wrestling, then Briscoe and Ciampa definitely delivered that. Winner announcing that she was injured and had to vacate the TBS title was a sad moment, but hopefully she comes back stronger soon.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.